Yeah, so good morning to you as well from us, Adrian and Christoffer.
I'm Christoffer, yeah.
Yeah, and we're from a company called CultureWorks, and in that company we also have this little passion project called Organic Basics. So we're going to take you through our journey, our story about this concept, this new product, and try to give some perspectives as well on how we see it as being a minimal project. So yeah, the theme is how you can create something with big ambitions, with minimal resources, but where you have to put the maximum effort into it. So yeah, we definitely see Organic Basics much more as a journey and not just as a project. And our journey in this underpants adventure is to create the world's best underwear. So that's like the headline we started out with, and started out by creating this. So one of the major important values, we've got three. This is sustainable production. And we've got like 3 different standards where we can help measure these values, so we can like deliver this in our project and in our product as well. We have GOTS over there, which is about that we can verify that it's organic material that the underwear is made from. And then we've got this confidence in textiles certificate, which is about that the product is made without any harmful substances, so without any bad chemicals and so on. And then we have this wrap, which is about that the product is produced at our manufacturers with its good conditions, so the workers have got good wages and they're working in good environments and so on. So this is like first and important value. And we've got the whole idea about Organic Basics. You can probably do the math yourself, that it's an organic product, so organic cotton. And it's like also a really minimal product. We've tried to like strip our underwear from like conventional thinking, so no Calvin Klein logos, no logos on the waist, and just keep it completely basic and minimal, but with a really high quality product with organic cotton. And then probably the most important value for this project is that it's a convenient purchase. So we try to rethink and try to modernize the way that we would like to see our consumers consume and buy the underwear. And to take you through the process, you go onto either the Kickstarter campaign now or the website, and then you subscribe online on these platforms. Then you receive the product directly to your door. Then you walk around naked or with underwear on and enjoy this organic underwear. And then you can say that phase 2 and 3 repeats itself. So this is how we're thinking that this is revolutionizing, but also like scraping a lot of different other layers out normally. So instead of you going to a store, buying underwear, which you even can't try on in the shop, you can just purchase it directly to your door as a newspaper or anything else you've got a subscription on. So that's a bit about the project and the concept. So how did we create this project? How was the process for us? So the journey started out with Mads up there. That's Mads, and he actually was the originator and the guy who started the project for himself. And then Christoffer. He heard about the idea and he got so excited that he almost kidnapped Mads up to a meeting and told about CultureWorks, our company, and how we really thought that this was a brilliant idea and how we would like to work together with this project and like join forces. So yeah, we teamed up and then we had this workforce with us 5 guys. The tagline, the best underwear in the world. And then together we started out to develop on this project. We started out by talking about which underwears are preferable ones and which ones are bad, and I hate when the legs are too short because then they crawl up, and you probably know that the situation. It's annoying, so we really tried to create a really good product through these problems. And then through a lot of discussions and so on, then we sent our ideas and prototypes to our manufacturer, and then we got the samples back. And then there's a bit of back and forth to get the final product, but we got there. So parallel to working on the product, we also had to develop like the strategic ideas for the visual identity, all these kinds of things, and I think it's been a big part of how we work, that we want to create like a logo, all these kinds of things in the beginning, not in the end of a product cycle. Because we're also going to talk about it later, but we see this growth hacking, which is like a new way of thinking. It's very important, so you get your product out there before you actually have your product finished. And then you work a lot of hours and you work hard on it, but it's also really important to remember to have fun. We have table tennis at our office, and we play a lot, and it's important to keep morals high. So we worked really focused on this, and then suddenly we had the final prototype. We were so happy. We went out in our park in the middle of winter and danced around in underwear, and took some pictures of that and celebrated ourselves in this like magic day.
And I'm going to tell you a bit about Kickstarter and how that online platform helped us create this project with minimal resources but with maximum effort. And Kickstarter, for those of you who don't know, is the world's biggest online platform for crowdfunding. So why did we choose Kickstarter? We needed some funding to get the first batch produced of our underwear, and we saw it as a huge opportunity to tell our story and to create like a buzz around our brand, and then create a lot of PR and a lot of traction around our users. Because if we had just launched our web shop, it wouldn't have been such a great story. But with Kickstarter, we had like a project and we had a mission that we needed to reach this goal. And then we had a big opportunity to involve our users and to ask them and to use them in the process. And then a bit about how we did it, how we managed to launch this Kickstarter campaign. It is with Kickstarter that you need a campaign video, and this video is very important for people to understand your mission and your project. So we used a lot of time on filming this video. Actually, we did it twice. One of our partners is living in San Francisco, and we went to visit him and we filmed the whole thing with a GoPro, and when we got back, our video editor guy was like, "This is crap," because we had no expertise in filming or whatsoever. So
we destroyed a GoPro camera and
so everything was crazy.
We were really shitty at that part.
So we got a professional guy to film the video, and then everything was smooth from there. Then we used a lot of time on creating the text and the graphics for the campaign, because that is really the main landing page. When people get to your campaign, they need to be able to dig deeply into your project and see if they find it relevant and interesting. And then there's a lot of Kickstarter actually don't allow Danish companies to use their platform. So we needed to create a US bank account and a US sister company enabled to use Kickstarter. But there is other crowdfunding pages where you can actually create a project if you're a Danish company. Then we used a lot of energy on creating the marketing and PR strategy, because we knew that simply by just creating your campaign wouldn't get you any backers. So you need to get it out there and you need people talking about it. And then we looked through a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, because we needed to learn the tone of voice, because the Kickstarter is like a special community and they talk in a very positive way and they're like very optimistic, and it's a really nice tone of voice, but you need to learn it and able to become a part of this community. And then we did a 30-day rollout plan. To like day one, we need to post it on Facebook, we need to send a press release to this and this media, and we did like a very, what do you call it? A day-to-day plan. I think what we discovered was that Kickstarter is kind of new in Denmark, so the Kickstarter approach to Danish press is still interesting, but in the general international media picture, they're not that into Kickstarter anymore. At least it's not that big of a news anymore. So we need to sell it on another story. This is what our campaign looks like. Just to go through it, we have, or this was yesterday, 344 backers, and we have reached $7,431 dollars so far. We have 12 days to go. Now we have 11. And up here you can see we've made 4 updates. We have 344 backers, and then we have 5 comments from guys who've backed us. And then we have 589 shares, which is actually quite a lot on Facebook. As I told you before, the campaign video is very important. So I'm going to show you what we did.
Hi Kickstarter, I'm Alex. I want to tell you about Organic Basics, a project me and my team out of Denmark created. But first, let me show you the problem that started our journey. So I wake up in the morning ready to take on another great day. I take a shower to freshen up and get the energy flowing. Then I go to my drawer to get dressed. This is where my problem is. I'm not sorted when it comes to underwear, and none of them fits my lifestyle. I'm always running short on quality basics. Here's a selection of my previous underwear. The Calvin Kleins are screaming the logo around my waist and are far too expensive. The cheap ones are in bad quality and way too synthetic. And these old holy ones are just way too embarrassing to wear, and only wear these when I absolutely have to. What we did with Organic Basic is that we created the best organic underwear and then making it easier than ever before to buy them. With Autopilot we created the most convenient purchase. You simply subscribe through our website and then we will send the underwear directly to your doorstep every quarter. We simply cover your basics. Kickstarter, say hi to my amazing Danish team.
Hi, Kickstarter!
Organic Basic is a project that does not play by the rules of the traditional underwear industry. We want to create underwear that is produced sustainably and under the right condition. Underwear in high quality organic materials, and underwear that is super convenient to purchase. We build Organic Basics on 3 key values: a sustainable production, organic materials, and a convenient purchase. Worrying is overrated. With Organic Basics you can forget about forgetting to buy new underwear and start using more time on things you love. Now we're jumping into the deep sea to catch the wave of our dreams. Support our mission, be part of the community, and join our journey.
And just to sum up how the campaign gone so far, we reached 100% funding in the first 48 hours, and we were like, that was fast, and maybe we should have set a higher goal because it's kind of a game. So even though we could now start the production, then there is when Kickstarter when your project reach 100%, people are not that into buying anymore. So you need to create stretch goals and do other things than just reaching your normal goal. But still, we managed to reach 95,000 in 2 weeks, going from 0. So we were quite thrilled the first 2 days. And a little bit about how we did it. We did it with minimal resources, but with maximum effort. We did put some of our own money into the project before we started, but to be able to create a production, you need to create quite a big quantity. So we needed a lot of money to be able to push start on the production chain. And we used a lot of time on early stage growth hacking. We created our Facebook account and our Instagram account like 5 months before the Kickstarter campaign, and started talking to our community and started involving them in how we created this project, from everything, what kind of logo we should use, to when we were just having fun, to when we received our first samples, and always involving our users. And then we actually got quite a lot of media awareness before we even had the Kickstarter campaign. Adrian, maybe you should tell the story about Morning Denmark.
Got a call from to CreativeMornings Denmark. Danish people in here probably know it, maybe some of the English people know it as well. This is this big national morning TV program. And then we got a call one day, and then can you be in Copenhagen the next day? And I had I pitched the idea in that we will sit throughout the whole interview only in boxer shorts. and the other guys weren't that happy of that idea, but I thought I had to activate the story. So we went over there and we actually got a change so we could sit through the interview in our clothes, luckily. But we made a small start with underwear on, but that was really cool. And I think these things are enormously important, that you get to the growth hacking before you actually have a product, instead of in the old days you would make the whole product and create the product, and then when you're ready with the product you would try to get it out to people, but there's no buyers at that point. So we're trying to create all the buyers before we have the product, and you could clearly feel that something like getting on national TV and getting that coverage, then people also see it as a real product, and they see it as a finished possibility to purchase. And this feeling for the consumer, I think, is very important, and it verifies that something real is going on. It's not just a desktop project with some fancy logos or something, but it's actually real, and you can buy it soon. So creating demand before.
Yeah, and then we made a sign-up possibility on our website because we had nothing when we were at Morning Denmark. So we needed to catch the possible buyers. So we actually had 300 pre-sign-ups that was interested in getting notice when the Kickstarter was launching. And then when the Kickstarter launched, we really did everything to activate our personal network. And because we're 5 guys, we have 5 times bigger network. And then I think we made 100 emails per person to send out to our personal network. And we wrote to everyone we know on Facebook. And we also used our Facebook channel from the Organic Basic page, and we used our personal Facebook accounts to write updates.
I think it's the whole idea about, instead of going out and using a lot of money on national coverage and big spreads in newspapers, it's about what do I have in my network? Do I have a famous uncle or something? Can he tweet about it? Or it's activating your own network and really doing it, not just writing to your best friends, but writing to people that you've been studying with 10 years ago. It's writing to everybody, activating everybody, and then you can with this minimal approach, but maximum effort, then you can actually really do something and reach out to people that are beyond your network.
Yeah, then we did multiple press releases, both in local and national and international. But so far we've only managed local and national. And then, we've gotten on some American blogs, and I think that's it actually. Then we use Instagram a lot. The plan was to have an Instagram update a day, but I think we have every second day or something. So that's still quite good. But the thing is that we had a lot of traction in the beginning of the campaign, and now we have 12 days to go. So what do we do now? We need to reach our stretch goals. We have the coming stretch goal is $20,000, and we will be able to produce white boxes. And we did actually we weren't quite sure what the stretch goals was going to be when we released the campaign, but we did a survey. Exactly, thanks. We did a survey with our backers, and everyone was. We had 300 people that wrote us feedback, and then we created the stretch goals from their feedback. But we need to keep up momentum, because it's always, when you're not talking about your own project, no one else is. So you need to keep talking about it and keep writing to the press and keep writing to your network and think of new ways to tell your story, because if you don't do it, no one will. Then we need to constantly develop our brand. We were in the beginning we thought that we needed to keep it simple and just do boxes and socks, and maybe we do, but with Kickstarter we have a platform where we can test everything out. So if we test white boxes and it doesn't work, it doesn't really affect the brand that much because it's associated with the campaign. So it's a playground where we can test out things if it will work when we launch our web shop. And then you should keep having fun. We've had a lot of fun so far, and we think that if we're not having fun, then chances are that people who are going to see the stuff we make are not going to find it very funny either. So keep having fun with what you're doing. And then some learnings, because really that's what it's all about. It takes a lot of time to create this Kickstarter campaign. You need to really think everything through, because the Kickstarter community is very passionate about the projects they invest in. So if you think that they might not notice, they will notice. So you need to put a lot of effort into it. And then we've been a team, and I think it's important to have a team because this is a social thing. So you need to discuss with your team what to do next. Keep talking with your community, not just during the Kickstarter campaign, but I think it's important when you have a company that has a community. Then dare to dream and act big. We've talked about it a lot, that why not send your press release to BBC, and why not send it to all these big places, because you never know what they are going to find interesting tomorrow. So it's important to really dare to do this, and then be proactive. We've seen a lot of failures on Kickstarter, and no one will magically find your project and send it to BBC or Reddit or where it can get funded. So you really need to get it out there and tell everyone you know about it, and really activate your network and keep sending press releases even though no one is writing about your project so far. And then you still need to keep having fun. You shouldn't see it as an everyday job to have a Kickstarter campaign. With Kickstarter, you're on 24/7 because you get backers during the night from the States and in the morning in Denmark. So you should really not see it as a normal job. This is our company mantra, if you would. It's fail faster to succeed sooner, and actually Kickstarter is a brilliant example where you can fail really, really fast and then do quick prototyping and then make it better. And this is also we see this as minimal because you shouldn't, as Adrian said, build a rocket and then try to fire it. You should really try and fire it every day, because you need to test everything, because no human is smart enough to think of a grand empire and then not test it out. You should really test every small detail out in your project. Thanks for your time and your ears.